Well, would you look at here? The best division in football is all undefeated after week 1 of the NFL season. The LA Rams, San Francisco 49ers, Arizona Cardinals, and Seattle Seahawks. The entire NFC West has not lost a game so far. I know it's a small sample size. I know this is speculative. I know this is theorizing of predicting who will win the NFC West. But who doesn't love to talk some football, especially after week 1? The West is the best. NFC West, AFC West. I did the AFC yesterday. If you want to check out that video, I'll leave it below. But looking at the NFC West, we have a powerhouse division in the NFL here, and it is going to be hard to predict anyone to be the best or worst team in this division because you can make the argument for any of those, for anyone in here. I'm going to be getting into it. I'm going to be going through the breakdowns, the takeaways, the comparisons, the matchups. But before I do, I got to hear from you guys. What is your prediction for who will win this division, and just what's your overall standing? Who's first, who's second, who's third, and who is fourth? Getting straight into it, though, I just want to say right away, kudos to the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, everyone respects the Cardinals, but did anyone think they would just embarrass the Titans? I thought a lot of people would expect, Titans-Cardinals 50-50, if anything, 60-40 Titans. But if the Cardinals win, not surprising. But if a Cardinals team dominantly wins, destroys the Titans, that is where the surprise comes in, and that's where this division is extremely shaken up. We all knew the Rams was probably going to beat the Bears. We knew the Seahawks would probably edge out the Colts. I didn't think it'd be as dominant, but we knew they were probably the better team, at least week 1 ready-wise. And the Niners over the Lions, that should be a no-brainer. But again, Cardinals being the surprise team here, it is making this division even tougher. In my opinion, if you break down the division, best quarterback, Matthew Stafford played like an MVP on Sunday night against the Bears. 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, perfection. But if we're being serious, the best quarterback in this division is Russell Wilson. Danger Russ until someone takes the crown from him. I do think Matthew Stafford's on the come-up. Kyler Murray is Russell Wilson-esque. Those guys have the chance to take the crown from Russ, but until they actually do it, Seahawks on the crown for the best quarterback in this division. Number 2, pick your poison. You want the pocket passer Stafford, or do you want the dual threat Kyler Murray? No disrespect to Jimmy G. He's a viable quarterback, but if he was in this conversation to be one of the best QBs in his division, he wouldn't be losing his job. Like I said, pick your poison. Rams, Cardinals, whichever quarterback you want. Rams fans going to say Stafford. Cardinals fans going to say Kyler. Pick your poison. I'm going to leave that one up to you guys. And then Jimmy G, unfortunately, finishing last. Run game, backfield. Chris Carson's, Darrell Henderson, Chase Edmonds, and no longer Raheem Mostert, Trey Sermon. I cannot think of the backup. I want to say Elijah Williams. That is the name that's coming to me. If that is not the Niners backup running back, excuse me, I don't know where that name came from then. But health-wise, I got to give it to Chris Carson. I think he's the best back in this division. Cam Akers could make an argument, but he's not here. Darrell Henderson, Chase Edmonds, and I believe Elijah Williams. All those are just another pick or poison. I know I'm not breaking it down to the nth degree on the backfield, but I just think in week 1, like I said, such a small sample size, I think it's just a little too much to give a competent answer or a confident answer that I can 100% sell my take on and just 100% believe in. The rest of the backs, I think, between the Niners, Cardinals, and Rams is up for debate. Offensive line, I'd probably go with the Niners and the Rams at the top, and then the Seahawks and Cardinals at the bottoms. Receiving room. This is tough. If you do not consider tight end, Niners are kind of out of the equation. I love Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. Deebo Samuel took off. But without George Kittle, they're not in this conversation. But with George Kittle, they are in it. George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, that might be better than Tyler Lockett, Gerald Everett, DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Van Jefferson, Tyler Higbee, D-Hop, AJ Green, Christian Kirk. It's a tough one. Who do you want? The very best receiver in the division? Go with the Cardinals. You want the very best tight end in the division? Go with the Niners. You want with possibly the best duo in the division? That's between Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, and Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. Another one where you just have to decide on your own who do you think is the best. Star power, we know the Cardinals have that in D-Hop. Depth, I'd say the Rams win that one. But well-roundedness, being, even top to bottom, head to toe, having pretty good options, at least your first 3 options, I'd say the Niners have the 3 top options on their receiving room. Brandon Ayuk, we'll see if he plays different than he did in week 1, but still, that'll definitely leave some debate for wiggle room of how they end up depending on Ayuk's play, but still, I think the Niners may own it as far as, the first three receiving options. I just don't think Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Gerald Everett as good as Kittle, Ayuk, and same thing for the Niners. The same thing for the Rams and Cardinals, but another pick or poison. Defense, wow. Cardinals, I don't know. Chandler Jones putting up 5 sacks, J.J. Watt helping him out, Zayvon Collins, Isaiah Simmons, Byron Murphy, Budda Baker. I would have never guessed they just destroyed Tannehill like that. I'd like to give the crown in this defense of the division to the Rams and Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, and I probably would still say they're the best defense in the division, but it's by this much. The crown is up for the taking, just like Russell Wilson. While he holds the crown, Stafford and Kyler on the come up, just like the Rams defense owns the crown for the best one in the division. Seahawks are coming up. They had a great pass rush against a great O-line, and the Colts. Cardinals defense is very much coming up, and the Niners defense, it's good. I mean, they had a pick 6, Fred Warner, but with them being pretty thin in the secondary, I don't think they're in the conversation for the best, but we'll see how they rebound. If they'd lost Jason Verrett, we'll see how Nick Bosa, Rico Armstead, and Fred Warner still holds it down. This is another one. I'm giving the crown to the Rams, but this is so tight from top to bottom, from head to toe. Coaching staff, who's the best one there? I'm going to go Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Pete Carroll, and Cliff Kingsbury in that order. But another one that could really change. It's only week 1. Excuse that sound. I just believe it's tough to predict this division right now. The winners are probably going to all... We could see the Cardinals go 11-6 and miss the playoffs. That's how tight this division is. That's how tight the NFC is. I mean, the Saints look good. The Packers are going to rebound. I think the Vikings may turn around. I will be very interested in how the Cardinals and Vikings play this week. Cardinals coming off a huge win. Vikings coming off an embarrassing loss. A Vikings team which I thought would make the playoffs. Let's see if they go 0-2. And because if they do, my take's not going to be looking too good. But who's winning this division? I'm going to go with Los Angeles Rams. As right now, they hold the crown for the top defense. Their quarterback is on the come up. Their receiving room is looking good. Sean McVay is Sean McVay. The offensive line looks sturdy. I just have to give it to the Rams. Do I think the Seahawks can or will win it? Do I think the Niners can or will win it? Do I think the Cardinals can or will win it? Yes. Will I be surprised if anyone but the Rams win it? No. That's how good this division is. You can make the argument for anyone in here to be the best or worst team. That's when you know you have a tough division. I've always said the NFC West is the toughest division entering this year, them or the AFC North. But even now, the AFC West is looking like they're on a come-up to be neck and neck with the NFC West. We'll just have to see, how it goes down there in AFC North. If the Steelers are really legit, if the Ravens really aren't legit, if the Raiders and Broncos and Chargers can all hold their own. We'll see who owns the title for the toughest division. But right now, just like a couple of crowns in this division, it is held by the NFC West across all divisions of football. Again, I'm picking the Rams. Their quarterback is looking great. Stafford is looking top 10 and more. Run game looks solid given the circumstances. Offensive line look good. Weapons look great. Defense is the defense. Ramsey looks like an absolute star power player. That's what everyone's been calling him. That's exactly what he's been doing. He has been the bread and butter of the secondary and just the spirit of that team. He was just a monster against Chicago Bears, shutting down Allen Robinson, a top 10, top 8, top 7 receiver. Kudos to Ramsey. Kudos to the Rams. Kudos to the NFC West, but I got to give it to the Rams winning the division. But everyone behind them will be close. I would not be surprised if every single one of those teams make the playoffs in 2021, but we'll have to see. I'm excited for it. I want to hear from you guys what you think, who will win, and what is your projected standings. As always, and of course, thank you for watching. 2 Minute Warning.